Say his name, Stephon Clark. On the evening of March 18th, 2018, in Meadowview, Sacramento, California, Stephon Clark, 22, died face down in his grandparents' backyard. Stephon died from 8 bullets that hit him out of the 20 fired by police officers Terrence Mercado and Jared Robinette. There is video and helicopter footage that captured Stephon's killing. Officers Mercado and Robinette were investigating reports of someone breaking car windows in the Meadowview neighborhood. The officers didn't know the unknown person's location until an overhead helicopter informed them they saw someone. The person they saw was Stephon. The officers pursued Stephon into his grandparents' yard. The video shows that Stephon is on the side of his grandparents' house. The police shout at Stephon, "Show me your hands. Gun! Gun! Gun!" Stephon falls to his knees as the 2 officers fire. 20 shots were fired in 5 seconds. 2 minutes and 50 seconds after the officers had fired their weapons, they verbally tried to communicate with Stephon. No response. 5 minutes after the last bullet was fired, the officers would physically check to see if Stephon was a threat or alive. It was noted after other officers arrived at the scene, Mercado and Robinette, the officers that shot Stephon, muted the audio on their body cameras. Why were the body cameras muted? There were protests and vigils as the community and public demanded transparency and the arrest of the 2 officers that had killed Stephon. The police reported that Stephon had ignored the police orders to stop as they pursued him. The police stated that Mercado and Robinette believed that Stephon advanced toward the officers with what they thought was a firearm. They fired over 20 shots to contain what they believed was a threat. There was no firearm, but a cell phone was found under Stephon's body. The body camera footage that the police provided doesn't clearly show which direction Stephon was facing when he was shot. Still, analysis of police video footage found that Mercado and Robinette continued to shoot Stephon as he fell to his hands and knees. The black community has little trust in the Sacramento Police Department. Stephon's parents commissioned a private medical examiner, Dr. Omalu, nationally known for fighting the NFL over head injuries to his players, to perform an independent autopsy on Stephon's body. Dr. Omalu's report revealed that Stephon was shot 3 times in his lower back, twice near his right shoulder, once in his neck, once under an armpit, and once in the leg. The wound in Stephon's neck was from the side, and the shot to the leg appeared to have been fired as Stephon was falling. Dr. Omalu reported that Stephon was shot primarily from the back as the first bullet hit him on his side, turning him away from the officers as they fired at him.
6 of the bullets, like you could see in the body diagram, exhibited gunshot wounds of entrance in the back, meaning he was shot in the back 6 times. The 7th gunshot wound was slightly to the side of his body, but to the back of the side of his body. So you could reasonably conclude that he received 7 gunshot wounds from his back.
The autopsy reported severe damage to Stephon's body, including a collapsed lung, shattered vertebrae, an arm broken into tiny bits. Stephon had bled profusely. Dr. Omalu's autopsy further suggests that Stephon lived for 3 to 10 minutes after the shooting. Could Stephon have survived if the officers had administered assistance or called for medical help immediately after the shooting? That question was justified by the Attorney General's findings. Officer Mercado and Robinette didn't face criminal prosecution and are still employed by the Sacramento Police Department. Stephon Clark, a 22-year-old unarmed black man and father of 2 young boys, was pursued by police, killed, and died in his grandparents' backyard. What is justifiable about that? Stephon's death has led to changes in Sacramento and California law. Number 1, in August 2018, the Sacramento police started a new policy for chasing suspects on foot, which includes officers must start their body-worn cameras and reporting the reason for the chase and description of the suspect. Number 2, AB 392, the Stephon Clark Law, was signed in 2019 by Governor Gavin Newsom. The law updated the use of force policy, stating how officers can use their weapons. The words changed from reasonable to necessary and prohibited police from firing on a fleeing felon who doesn't pose an immediate danger. Also, a 2020 state law banned certain chokeholds by law enforcement. 2020 also saw the passage of a law that requires the state attorney general's office to investigate any officer involved shooting that ends in the death of an unarmed person. Stephon Clark, Stephon's brother, created the I Am SAC Foundation and, with his family, established Stephon's House, a site for resources and healing for the black community. Also, the Stephon Clark College Preparatory Middle School opened through Fortune Schools in Meadowview, where Stephon was killed. Stephon won't see his 2 sons, Aiden and Cairo, grow up, and Aiden and Cairo don't have their father, Stephon. No laws or monuments change that tragedy. The slight chance that changing laws without changing hearts is not worth Stephon's death. Say his name, Stephon Clark.